All right, hello. We forgot to do the intro for our first podcast. Kind of forgot that nobody really knows who we are at all, so maybe we should do that first. So,
Probably.
Yeah, it might transition weird. All right, so my name's Zane, and for this podcast, I'm just going to be going by Shady Guy. Cool name, kind of, talks about how much of a weirdo I am. I'm just a guy who's been watching anime probably as long as he can remember, probably since I was 5 or 6 years old. I've had figurines and stuff, but my main influence was probably Naruto. It's what got me into the series, and now I've probably seen about 500 plus anime in total, and that's excluding series and stuff, maybe around when I'm talking about seasons, 300 or so anime. So I've pretty much gotten real cynical at this point, and that'll pretty much be my personality for the show.
I am Carnbeer, and I'll be under the guise of Punish Hell. I've been watching anime since I was in 4th grade, and I basically got into anime because I accidentally clicked an ad, which started an anime.
Nice.
And that's a totally random event that got me into anime. I've watched over 300 anime, and I've sort of slowed down now, but I used to be very addicted to watching anime, to the point where I finally threw my PC out the window because I wouldn't stop.
Yeah, also to me at the point where instead of doing homework, I would just watch anime, and I'd be watching 12 series every month. Now it's probably more 3 or 4. And small little thing. I just started watching the Azure Lane anime because I play the mobile game, and I love it already.
There's an anime for Azure?
There's an Azure Lane anime, and it's great. It's actually really good, no joke.
I should probably get into that.
Alright, so pretty much we're just going to be talking about random anime shit that comes into our minds, why some stuff sucks, why we love some stuff for no real reason at all, news, genre stuff, just anime and manga related stuff in general, because that's kind of I guess both of our real main interest.
Yeah, I guess. What else do we do in our lives?
True.
Now enjoy the weird transition to the next part.
Alright, here we go.
Welcome viewers to the Daily Anime Podcast, which is not daily at all. It's bi-weekly.
True.
I am Punish Hell, and this is Shady Guy.
Hey.
And we'll be talking about some major cases in the anime community.
Oh yeah, today we're talking about mainly fan service and pretty much how it's kind of ruined or lessened anime as a property in general.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a major problem with the recent anime that's come out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I know we got some on our list, but I could have probably put at least 15 or 20 and made this a 5-hour long podcast.
I know, right? The one that stands out for me right now, which is a recent anime, is The Commonplace to the World's Strongest. It started off as it's a smaller anime, but it started out a really interesting premise,
Okay.
which is an isekai. But there's so much just harem and fan service that you can't enjoy the show. They just spend so much time on it.
Oh god. Well, the second you said isekai, I just kind of, cringed a little bit, because, God, I hate isekai, but then again, I actually had one too, Konosuba, which is an isekai. Actually, it's probably one of the only good isekais that have come out in, the last few years, to be honest, and, my only real gripe with it is just, there's this one character, Darkness, who's, one of the main 3 girls, and the thing is, all the time, she acts like a really weird, BDSM kind of really weird kind of fetishes, and in certain scenes or during conversations, it'll be almost normal and the jokes will be going around, but then they'll make a joke about that and I'll kind of feel taking a step back, and I'm oh, why? It's just I don't know, I ain't no anime puritan for sure, but creeps me out.
I get it. It was one of the problems I had with Konosuba. Even though it's such a great series, the way they sort of implement darkness sometimes really bothers me, especially in the recent season.
Oh, yeah.
She was so intense.
Oh, for sure. It was kind of they only used her for sex jokes.
Yeah. It was just you're the sex person. Think about it. But now let's get back on topic before we get any further into this. So the topic is, fan service is good when it fit into an anime, but it becomes an issue when a situation is created for fan service.
True.
And what I mean by this is, when you're creating situations for fan service and just spending a lot of time on that, that takes away from the actual content you could put out in your anime. There's only about current anime now is like 12 episodes long, and each episode's like 20 minutes.
Exactly.
So you don't have a lot of time to basically tell your story. And these anime creators, they just keep like putting fan service, and which takes away from the actual content that they could put in there.
Oh yeah, and then there's anime that only exist for fan service. Like one of the ones I was gonna mention, Monster Musume. Well, it's probably one of the only manga that shows like full nips in the scenes, and yeah, pretty much every other page is either sexy scene, the girls being nude, or the girls trying to literally jump the main dude's bones 24/7. Like it's basically an anime about a bunch of monster girls, fetish, trying to like get with the main guy and marry him, harem fetish, the whole time. And boy, sometimes it's funny, but other times you really just ask yourself, why the hell am I watching this?
Yeah, I know. The time you spend watching the anime, sometimes you're like, oh my god, I should just probably just close it right now. But the one thing about Monster Musume is it's like that. It's a slice of life comedy, right?
Oh, of course. And I like the comedy, and I like the slice of life.
Yeah, which is like one reason why people don't hate that sort of fan service, because they go there for that.
Yeah.
But it becomes an actual problem in like shows that we consider like our action shows, our shonen.
Oh, for sure. Like, we were talking a lot about this. I even had a discussion about this yesterday with like some other people, and just like it kind of demeans the characters in general. Like, you know, you find these characters, you kind of like them, but when all they do is like make sex jokes and be used like to be set up for sexual jokes, it's like, what's the point of them even existing in the first place? Why should I care about these characters at all?
Yeah, the morality degrades. I think one major like offender of this would be Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail.
I know. Since the first episode.
Oh god.
I like the characters a lot. Like Erza is probably one of my favorite female characters.
Oh, for sure. She's badass.
Yeah, but like they sexualize her so much that you can't like really see her in like that same image of like her being a super strong knight and protect people.
Oh, for sure. You know, like I won't talk about it in depth, but there's sometimes, you know, late at night thinking about yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a creep.
Well, one of my main issues was in the Tartarus arc, which isn't too recent now.
Yeah.
But in chapter 368, it was basically just a tentacle fetish the entire time.
Oh. Like, yeah, I remember that scene. You know, I also remember like a week after that, a certain website put a certain genre of manga written up entirely about that scene. You all know what I'm talking about.
But we won't mention it explicitly because we don't want to get banned from here.
Hell no.
And it sort of takes away from the intensity of, oh, she's caught. It sort of makes it like, okay, she's caught, but nothing bad's gonna happen to her.
Yeah, she's caught, she's being tortured, I'm feeling bad, but then the torture starts to get kind of sexual and you're like, okay, what's going on here? And it really kind of moves away from the intensity of the scene, like you were saying before.
Yeah. Another scene that happened was at like the same time,
yes,
in a different location, was Natsu and Lisana were also being caught, and they just stripped him naked and left him in a prison together.
My god.
I'm like, isn't that just fan service? Like, we're not scared for them at all.
No.
Like, it's just fan service. Like, the hell.
Oh my god. And we were talking about this earlier. The dragon in the one arc a little while ago. I forget exactly.
No, I think it's in the recent arc.
No, there was another arc too in the Eclipse arc. Do you remember? When one of the dragons that they released from like the Eclipse portal from like the past, his dragon breath power was literally just removing people's clothes.
How is that sort of gonna scare you, man? What sort of villain is that?
What's the point of it? He literally is a pervert too. All of his lines and everything he says is just creepy pervert stuff. That's literally the whole joke.
And you know who his Dragon Slayer is? That Dragon Slayer of Pleasure, the new Dragneel that came out?
Oh yeah, the one who basically in one chapter told everybody who has had sex in the series. Yeah. In the middle of a huge fight, people are being killed, huge war. That's exactly what we needed.
Yeah, I know, just to like make the intensity, keep the moment up.
Yeah, that brings me to like another show like Kenichi the Mighty's Disciple. A pretty good shonen show, but like the anime didn't last long, but the manga is amazing. Like it's, you know, weak dude, gets trained, gets super strong and shit, trained by all these masters. And like two of the characters, the one teenage girl, Miyu, and one of the other girls too, they both not only wear super skin tight outfits 24/7, but in almost every fight they're in, they will always have rips in their outfits exactly where the bra line is. And in several other scenes, one where Miyu is actually fighting another female fighter in one of like the most deadly scenes in the entire series, like when they were fighting life or death, the main girl's only real method of fighting was tearing her clothes apart to stop her opponent from fighting.
What a great series ruined by just fan service. It was so many great lessons were taught in the anime. Honestly, it was better than Naruto for me because instead of just Naruto becoming super strong, you see Kenshi training every day.
I know, like, dude just goes through hell, and like, you know, while he complains a lot, he just really becomes like a great guy. It's about like a really, honestly, super weak dude just trying to like, you know, overcome himself and like his persevere, and through the whole series, yeah, the dude just like trains and trains and trains.
And then they just throw boobs in there, and you're like, okay, I did not need that right now. Just let's get on with the fight, beat the guy.
I know, and you know, there's even the scene where he's fighting like, I already forget her name, the one female character whose outfit is literally just like super short denim like crop pants, and the whole reason he won't fight her is not only because he doesn't fight women, but because she keeps like revealing her panties every time she kicks him.
Oh yeah, he was really bothered by that.
Yeah, you know, at least my boy Kenichi knows, you know, fan service does not belong in his manga.
Yeah. A recent anime that I could talk about is Fire Force, which in a recent arc, which was the Captain Rekka arc,
yeah,
basically the main character Shinra pops in there saving the girl. I'm gonna save you, and instantly all her clothes get blown off. Her legit trait is she's a sexual magnet. There's always something sexually happening to her.
Oh my god.
She's the definition of fan service. Like, you're just standing there, nothing's happening, and her pants fall. And you just gotta think to yourself.
Oh jeez.
It's okay, but like, I don't need that in every episode where you are in.
Yeah. Speaking of in every episode, you know, remember the anime High School DxD?
Yeah. Come for the ecchi, leave with the plot.
Oh yeah. So, I don't know. Main dude, literally, I'm not even gonna joke. Yeah. Once it becomes like a harem master. Literally just gets lots of girls 24/7, and there's lots of fighting. Dude gets straight up killed in the very first episode and brought back like by, you know, Rios, you know, the main girl, who's actually pretty okay. Like, she's pretty wholesome in general, but like every other girl on the show and every other person is just like trying to sleep with this dude and like become like a submissive like harem member for him, and he fights other people and their harems who tries to steal the girls in his harem.
So it's basically a harem defense scheme.
Yeah, it's like Dota but harem, I guess.
Yeah. And it really bothers me because at one point he was versing a villain, and the random thought occurs to his mind that, oh, if the villain shrinks everything in half, then the girl's breast size are gonna shrink in half too, and I can't have that. And I'm like, oh my god.
What's the point of that thinking? Why would anybody in a life or death situation ever think of that? It just, as we've said before, it just completely derails the intensity of the scenes. It's completely stupid.
Yeah. It's like, it just like takes away from the intensity and makes the anime into this sort of comedic joke instead of a battle or like a life situation. It's a comedic joke at that point, and you're like, why am I even watching this fight?
I know, pretty much. And imagine like female fans watching these shows too. Like, I know you're a female fan, you're watching these shows like, I don't know, Fairy Tail or shit, and you like Fairy Tail because, you know, Ursa's badass or Lucy is really cool and a deep character, but then all the time they're like losing their clothes, getting into sexual situations, and you just feel really uncomfortable. It's like anime doesn't care about the female demographic of their shows or about ever trying to invite them in. And then you have people who stigmatize these shows after that and think anime is just, you know, basically animated like porn and shit. Oh, it's horrible.
We have another name for that.
Yeah. But that's the thing. And they don't realize that, you know, it's a great art form that can be amazing and like deliver scenes that no actual human being in a movie or a TV show ever could. Like, it's a deep, powerful art form. But fan service just makes me feel like bad about watching these shows and just, you know, makes me sick.
Yeah. And you know, like some of the greatest anime, they have like no fan service.
I know.
Like my favorite anime of all time is Code Geass.
Oh my god, for sure.
Yeah, and without any fan service, it still captivates you and like keeps you in there and like makes you run for the story without wasting time on fan service. It like thickens the plot at every set of the way.
Oh, for sure. Like Colin, the female character in that show, definitely one of my top 5 favorite female anime characters of all time because she is just a strong, amazing character who's just completely badass and like does whatever she wants. She doesn't give a shit about like, you know, romance or all that other shit. She's just living her life and she's just, you know, reacting to things in the series. Like, yeah, and for me, like one of my favorite shows of all time, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's actually called Mushishi.
Oh yes, I love Mushishi.
It's just a deep philosophical anime. Like every episode is kind of just like a kind of parable or a little life lesson wrapped around like a supernatural event. It's about a guy who goes around and like deals with these things called like, you know, mushi, and they're like these spirits that can sometimes get evil or good and sometimes affect human beings. And like every episode is like this deep philosophical like crazy shit that like leaves you kind of like whoa. You know, sometimes it gives you like the chills or haunts you, and none of the female characters, you know, sexualized. Main character never sexualized. Like, it's just an amazing show all on its own because of the story and the characters.
Yeah, I feel like that some shows, if they just like put sexualization, like fan service, I feel like they're just like trying to make up for the fact that the author is like out of ideas or like sort of. I don't mean to insult anime that have fan service. Like a lot of good anime have fan service, right?
Yeah.
But if you compare like some of the greatest anime that don't have fan service to some of the greatest anime that have fan service, you see that obvious trend of like how content rich they are.
Oh yeah, and like not just anime, but like anything, like video games with like super revealing like outfits and scenes for no reason, or like I don't know, cartoons in general, like literally making cartoon characters as sexualized as they possibly can. Why? You know, really it feels like that like the anime like producers and like the manga writers just kind of feel like, oh yes, we found who our fans are. They're the horny teenagers. They like the boobs, we make the money. Yes.
Yeah, and that's sort of how they also sell with their merchandise. Like, have you seen the anime figurines?
Oh.
And like the body pillows.
No, don't let the kids know about body pillows.
Yeah, but still, there's like the major issues I had with the fan service was this one anime I watched, which was High School of the Dead.
Yeah.
It was like it had such a nice premise, and the first episode was really interesting too.
Oh yeah, it's the zombie high school show, right?
Yeah, and I like the characters, but it was just so sexualized. You have this one entire like part where the girl is wearing like an apron and killing zombies in her underwear, and I'm like, put on some goddamn clothes, woman.
Oh god. Oh, what about the scene where the dude uses the girl's boobs as a kickstand for his sniper rifle?
That's so infamous.
Yes.
And so like
The
oh my god.
360 boob graphics. They've done it. Anime has been perfected. We have achieved next level boob power.
Yeah. It's such a memory. But still, I felt like the anime could have got so much higher in terms of quality because they had the ingredients in their base and like a new idea. Like, how many zombie animes are there that really work off like these zombie apocalypse? 2.
There's that one, and there's like Gakko Gurushi, I think, but that's like one of those, you know, cute girls doing cute things animes, but with a really weird plot, like they're girls in high school during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So I feel like they had a really like unused premise, and they had like nice characters too, but they just like, oh, we're just gonna turn it into fan service now, because it's just you're like, okay, what are we gonna do with this now?
All right. I think you had one more show you wanted to talk about, one that we both aren't really a fan of. Do you remember?
You wanna bring it up?
Oh, well, I did, perchance read an article that was so inarticulate because of how much just pure rage was in me writing it about how much I hate Sword Art Online.
Ah, yes, Sword Art Online. It was like the original isekais. Well, they really brought isekai out.
Oh, yeah. Everyone says it's what started the isekai boom.
Yeah. And I feel like what started the boom was like the first half. and only the first half of season 1.
I entirely agree, and that's exactly what I say.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But then, well, in the first half, though, there's still that one sort of fan service-y scene where, well, Kirito goes over to Asuna's house for, like, dinner, and then for no reason at all, Asuna somehow thinks that he wanted to sleep with her, and she strips down into her underwear, which is something you can do in the game, apparently.
Well, the thing about that, I was okay with that because it didn't really take away from the intensity. It sort of like added to their relationship for me.
I guess. It was kind of a joke, and I did laugh. I didn't feel uncomfortable. But, I don't know, there's just some other stuff, too. Like, not just fan service in sexual stuff, but fan service in, like, some of the certain events and some of the certain, like, genres. Like in part 2, where you have, like, his cousin who's also really into the main character, Kirito, and, like, wants to sleep with him. You know, incest fetish, everyone loves that.
Yeah. And then part 2 of season 1, which was that really creepy guy who's like who's basically just insinuated that thing.
Yeah, wants to do the 4-letter word that we don't ever speak of to the main girl, who was, you know, characterized as a pretty strong, awesome character, badass. You know, second most powerful character in the entire series, pretty much.
At that point,
At that point. But then the second half is, she's a bird in a cage for the entire series. Yay! I hope you liked Asuna now. She's a terrible character.
Yeah, I feel like they just ruined Asuna's character with that.
I know.
And she never recovered from that. Like, everything after part 1, I didn't like. Like, Gun Gale Online, do you remember that scene where she thought Kirito was a girl? I forget the other girl's name.
Sinon.
Yeah, when she thought Kirito was the girl and stripped out, and I'm like,
yeah,
you didn't really need that. They were like preparing to go to combat and everything, and now suddenly, I stripped out in front of you by accident.
Oh, exactly. Well, you know, I think we're just running low on time, but you didn't want to talk about anything else for like these last 2 or 3 minutes?
Well, just as like some final remarks about this.
Sure.
I just wanted to say that, like, for people that like fan service, I know a lot of people like fan service.
I like fan service.
I like fan service.
Oh, I apologize again, I'm a creep.
I started anime for the fan service. Like, my first anime was the most fan service shit I've ever seen, but that's the reason I got into it.
Yeah, would you believe that my first anime was like the 1980s Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac series?
I could imagine that.
I know. I don't even know what the hell it was. All I know was I had the action figures and I would fight with the character dudes. But I'd say the very first fan service anime I ever saw, if you could kind of consider it a fan service, would probably have been Fairy Tail, because that's when I just realized I could watch it online with my computer, and I just started watching all these shows, and it started to make me feel a little bit weird.
My first anime was a pure edgy anime. I'm telling you, it was about girls in underwear flying and fighting giant aliens. Strike Witches. It's not big. Oh, have you seen
I've heard of Strike Witches. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it has like this really famous crotch scene. Don't worry about it though. Yeah, I know people like ecchi. And like fan service. It's just like sometimes it ruins the intensity of moments. Mm-hmm. And if you like create situations just for fan service instead of like seamlessly putting them into anime once in a while.
Yeah, you know, like it's little like, you know, tiny jokes, little seamless scenes, or just a once in a while little misunderstanding. Yeah, that could be fine.
Yeah, but if you bombard your anime with fan service, then I feel like the quality just takes a big jump down.
Oh god, for sure. Like, you don't want to be like Yamada and the Seven Witches, where the whole like first few arcs of the series is the main dude has to kiss the girl to use his powers, and he switches bodies with the chick 24/7. And
like the first episode, he strips out.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a girl. That's you know, completely violate her body for no reason.
But who wouldn't do that?
Yeah, you'd have to really put me in the situation to know if I wouldn't do that or not.
I know, right?
Like I said, you know, I'm a pretty unscrupulous person.
Well, then that'll be the end of our podcast. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep. See y'all, and you know, happy anime viewing and shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.